Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, the editor-in-chief of Total Retail. I am joined on this episode by Maya Baluschak, who is the Director of Digital Marketing, Loyalty, and CRM at Rexall. And Maya and I are actually here at CRMC in Chicago. We're going to talk to Maya about Rexall and its CRM efforts and loyalty programs. So thanks for joining me today, Maya.
Thanks for having me, Joe. Looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. To get us started, how about you tell our audience a little bit about Rexall for those that may not yet be familiar with the company?
Absolutely. So Rexall Pharmacy is Canadian-based. What we really focus on is caring for Canada's health one patient at a time across Canada. We do have a focus on both our pharmacy side of our business as well as front shop, so in terms of retail and loyalty space.
And I mentioned your title in the introduction, but I'd love to get a little bit more of detail about your role within the organization. Tell us a little bit about your tenure at Rexall.
Absolutely. So I've been with Rexall now for coming up in 3 years, is marking my milestone with the organization. And my team is responsible and accountable for everything digital marketing, whether it's caring about every life cycle stage, moment in time, personalization, and how can we begin to enable more AI. So when we think about a lot of our owned channels, that's what we really focus on. And it's really great that we get to tailor and curate the experience for every single one of our patients and members.
So how are you working at Rexall to differentiate the brand and draw awareness and engagement through your digital marketing efforts? It's obviously a competitive space, so tell us about some of the strategies you've put in place.
The power of data is what we stand behind, so everything really being data-driven, whether it's leveraging our first-party data or even beginning to dabble into more of zero-party data. And all about that is really, really tailoring it even further to our patient and members' experience. More so from when members join a loyalty program, they're expecting us to know more about them and really be able to help drive those behaviors for them and personalize their experience. So that's where we're continuing to listen to our members through those data inputs to really help us influence what the communication journey or every touch point will be for them, not just in digital, but how does that connect to in-store as well.
Yeah, and just a quick follow-up there in terms of those data sources, particularly the zero-party data sources. What would some of those be for Rexall where you're collecting that valuable information?
Absolutely. So when we think about when members first join our loyalty program, how can we best tailor that to how they want to be communicated to? Maybe there's specific categories that they might shop more frequently or have more of an affinity to over others. Whether it's our beauty segments, for example, or maybe there's other specific categories that we might focus on. We want to make sure that what we're serving up to customers is very relevant to what they are looking for.
How are you finding that Rexall's customers want to be engaged with? And you know, there's so much talk about the evolving behaviors of consumers. What are you hearing, seeing from the Rexall customer, and then how's that then translate into what you're doing in terms of digital marketing?
It's a really great question because it's both what are we hearing in the trends in the industry, but also what are our customers telling us directly? And all of that continues to really be embodied around personalization. They're expecting more from us and they want us to do more for them. So really keeping that top of our focus and top of our strategy is what's helping us really push the envelope and really evolve our communication with them. And most importantly, just every interaction, whether it's a micro moment, macro moment, every moment counts.
So as you talk about sort of the multiple channels that you're engaging consumers with, I'd love to get your take on what you're doing around attribution for, to ensure that you're investing time and resources in the right channels, because there's so many out there that you can leverage.
Absolutely. So we look at a variety of different ways. How are members engaging with us? Is that still performing really well? Are there opportunities within our digital engagements? We're also looking at our different NPS scores. That's something that also is taken into consideration, as well as how is their spend and behaviors also happening and continuing to occur with us. So we're looking at a very broad aspect and piecing them all together in terms of how we can really focus on the best way to begin to put our best foot forward and begin to really further cater to what they're looking for.
And then specifically around the customer loyalty program, have you seen any shifts in that sector for the Rexall business? There's a lot of conversation here at CRMC that, the transition from just like kind of points-based programs to members also wanting experiences and special content and offers. So tell us a little bit about what you're seeing from the Rexall loyalty program member, and then how you react to those shifts to kind of serve their needs.
Absolutely. And it really comes back to, we don't want to force feed anything to our members. It's really listening back to them. So really emphasizing zero party, really emphasizing first party data of how is that really going to reflect and evolve. So not only do we hear in the industry where members are part of upwards of 15 plus different loyalty programs, how do we make sure that we're top of wallet in terms of adding that value back to members as well? So great concepts being discussed here at CRMC as well is all about emotional connectivity, emotional life cycle. How do we continue to elevate it and take it beyond more of just that moment in time or based off of a certain transaction? So not only are we hearing that in the industry, we're hearing that directly from our customers as well and our patients. So that's where we're continuing to evolve and really keeping that top of mind in terms of the priorities that helps us cater and tailor our messages and our strategies more uniquely to their preferences.
And I would think as a pharmacy chain that's health and wellness of your customers, this is a vertical that really, that emotional connection is so critical. What's more important than someone's own health? So thinking about that as you develop a communication strategy, right? Like, this isn't just transactional based. We're really trying to help serve the health needs of our customers.
Absolutely. And that's achieved across different verticals for us as well. It's when we think about the digital space, we're also thinking about the 360 experience. So how does that conversation transpire from in-store, speaking with a pharmacist, to what they can expect throughout their entire health and wellness journey, being a patient of ours. So it's really thinking about that full picture as well, which keeps it very impactful for us, knowing that we're helping make a difference in health and wellness for Canadians.
Yeah, that full life cycle. You've talked about the valuable data, that zero-party data, that first-party data that you're capturing. In exchange for that, consumers expect these personalized experiences, right? So I'm sure that's no different at Rexall. Your customers expect that personalized touch. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing to personalize the customer experience at Rexall. Maybe you have an example or two that you might be able to share.
Absolutely. So we're really looking into how we can dynamically serve up the right content based off of preferences. So that's where we're leveraging the collection of zero-party data. Is if we are planning to collect this information, we want to make sure that we're using it in the respectful way and the way that members are expecting that to happen as well. So really focusing on how we can dynamically serve up the content in terms of really just making sure that it's tailored to their unique experiences. It's no more spray and pray. There's no more mass. It's how can we really make a difference for depending where members are in their specific journey with us or overall experience with us.
Creating that one-to-one relationship. Right?
Exactly. Yep.
And then finally, Maya, as we think about the future and what's to come from Rexall, is there a particular project or initiative, something that you're continually working on that you're excited about for your customers?
It all circles back to the data in terms of that's what enriches everything that we do. And most importantly, it's exemplifying the way that we can best impact our conversations with our members. It's not just a one-way conversation. It's not a one-way street. It's building that relationship, building that rapport. How can we really provide that value add? So one of those specific ones is really tying it back to zero-party data collection. And how do we continue to maintain that? How do we refresh it? Is there iterations that make sense for where the industry is evolving to where customer preferences are evolving to as well? So it's, I think I've mentioned a few core themes here in terms of customers at the center of everything that you do, and the data is really helping empower that. So I'm really intrigued to also know where AI can help enable us to take that and accelerate it even further, propel these opportunities. So that's going to be something really exciting to continue to explore of what the future of AI holds.
Yeah, now that's actually a great transition, and that next step in terms of some of these technological tools that may be of assets to not just Rexall but others as well. To take that next step, to do this at scale, right? Those one-to-one relationships across millions of customers, you can't do that manually, right? So you need tools to help you, and that's kind of where you're headed at Rexall.
Exactly, yeah, and that's the power of this conference of CRMC. Not only do you get to hear about vendor partners, industry best practices, what else is happening here, but you also get to hear directly from some of the other companies, whether it's US based or Canadian based, in terms of what are they doing, what are they listening to, and how are they applying it, so that we can always learn, evolve, and continue to iterate ourselves as well in terms of just trying to make the best ultimate type of journey with our program overall.
Well, I want to take the opportunity to thank Maya Baluschak of Rexall for joining me here at CRMC on this episode of Total Retail Talks, and really enjoyed the conversation, Maya. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.